and this is number 7 of my Facebook Sidewaists classes. And so while we're waiting for 9 o'clock to come, you could absolutely grab a strap or maybe a little towel, something like that we can use to stretch our hamstrings, something to lie over. So use your house as your props, cushion, rolled up blanket, rolled up towel, that kind of thing would be really good. And we're going to use a wall as well. So just get yourself a little space while you're waiting for that. Waiting just for 2 more minutes. Great to see some people are already up. That's great. And while you're waiting, you're welcome to lie yourself down. I've got 2 blocks here that I can lie over, like we do in class, one over for the back of my head and one for the middle of my back. So you might have something like a rolled up blanket, a roller, or you might have some blocks as well. So today, although it's number 7, it's a great opportunity to review what we've already been working on. And certainly for me, which is why we've been doing this, it's all about, I thought, well, if I'm doing all these practices online, I'll do things that I need, because I couldn't see my audience to work like I normally do, where I observe my class and teach to the needs that I see. The need I've got was my body, my tinana. So for me, I'm noticing I have a chronic lower back issue, a lower left hip side, and I've noticed for me a real opening and unwinding in this area as it's getting stronger and as it's lengthening and relaxing a little bit. So I hope you're finding positive changes if you've been doing these classes with me as well. And like I said in my little blurb, if this is your first class, this is a great class to start with me, because it's a review of some of the exercises we did way back 20 odd days ago in our first oblique class. So when you're ready, you could put yourself over your 2 blocks. My Heidi, my welcome to you all. And you can pop, I like to pop 1 block just below my shoulder blades, but it's really sort of personal preference. And then just tucking that chin so we don't overextend the neck, put the other block underneath your head, and then just having a wee fiddle so you can feel that those shoulder blades are flying free. So I'm going to bring myself down, and if you feel like your neck's straining a little bit, you could absolutely put your block to a higher level. You really want to have that chin lower. And of course, just use whatever props you have here. So I'm using my computer, so the view of me is so different than on my phone. So let's hope I find my phone this afternoon. Let's now just relax here, and we can right away bring our breath down towards our belly, down towards our pubic bone. You can even just put your hands on your lower belly there and feel it lift as you inhale and lower as you exhale. If that's not a good place for your hands, just palms up at your sides is a lovely space as well for them. Beautiful. Inhaling into the lower belly and exhaling into the lower belly. Inhaling and exhaling. Taking whatever little fiddles you need to, and then just settling it into stillness here. Gravity will do the work for us, widening our collarbones, relaxing those trapezius muscles at the top, above our collarbones there, letting our shoulders roll down the back, opening up this thoracic spine, opening up the little spaces between our ribs. So just shut your eyes. We're here for another minute, really drawing your breath down towards your belly, feeling your rib cage, your belly lifting and lowering. Belly lifting, those lower floating ribs opening like bucket handles, Maybe the breath coming all the way up to the collarbones and then lowering everything back down again. Just about 3 more breaths here. Inhaling slowly through the nose and out. Beautiful work. We'll go straight on to using our arms and shoulders into a little bit of our serratus work we've been doing. So arms straight up. And if you did have anything, a strap, a block, anything like that that you could pop between your hands, it's just a really nice way of checking that your elbows are straight, that your arms are alive. And we can rip that, pull it apart, just to have those lovely long straight arms there, and to check that we're not compensating with our movement. So we can just extend the arms away from us any amount, draw them back, and just observing your ribs, checking that the ribs aren't flaring as we do this, which you want the ribs to move in opposition. Drawing away and up. One more time, away and up. Beautiful. Now shoulders scrunch up to the ears, draw them back down, scrunch up to the ears, draw them back down. Great. Keep going like that a couple more times. We just keep on drawing those ribs towards each other, checking we're resisting that flaring sensation. Then a big breath in to prepare. Exhale, take your arms back any amount. Pull your little hand towel or push your block towards each other, and then bring your arms back down any amount. So it's not about the amount, it's about that resistance between the ribs. Really trying to keep that beautiful control. Warming up the arms and the shoulder sockets. Keep resisting those ribs down, down, down as you draw the arms back. One more time like that. Beautiful. Then we can take that little towel away. Use that same engagement, that same idea. Roll your inner elbows, triceps up towards the ceiling, so you've got that nice external rotation. And we'll just take our scissors. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, one arm away, one arm down. And then back to the middle. Exhale, inhale, exhale. Really sparking through those fingers, as much activity through those fingers as possible. Still resisting the movement with the rib cage. Beautiful. Exhale and inhale. Now we'll do a new little movement called windmills. So we'll take a big breath to prepare. Exhale, one arm down, one arm up, and then both of them taking a little semicircle until we end up with opposite arm up, opposite arm down, and then draw them back to the middle. We do that the other way. So I've got my arm nearest the camera going down, nearest you going down, opposite arm up, and then little semicircle again, back to the midline. So we keep alternating. Exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale back to the middle. Swapping now. Down to exhale. Keep exhaling. And inhaling to come back to the middle. Let's just do 2 more. Exhaling. Inhale back to the middle. Exhaling. Back to the middle. Woohoo! Talk about using our brains. We're going to do a similar exercise for our legs as well. Let's roll off to one side to come out or off your whatever you've been lying on. We'll just pop those things to one side. Great job. Lying back on your back, and again you might use your little towel, if you did have a strap at home, to open up your hamstrings. Otherwise, keep your legs bent and use your hands behind the back of your thighs instead. If you did have a strap at home, hook it around the leg nearest me. Try and get that strap on your heel. And we're going to bring that leg straight up. I'll just move this back a little bit so you can see a little bit more of my long legs. Who'd have thought it? Okay, so we'll bring this leg up. And as we've done this before, we know that it's not about trying to bring the leg close to our face. It's about actually drawing this top hip down and away from us and feeling the glute tucking under our hip bone here. So we're actually drawing the leg away from us and resisting it with our muscles a little bit to really feel that connection, feel that glute firing up. Maybe you can extend your opposite leg out or pop it onto a block or onto a roller, something like that. Beautiful. And just holding for a few more breaths here. You could absolutely have a bent hamstring as well. Nice big breath in. And again, think about length here. So pull this hip down as you bring the leg across your body now. So we're stretching out the side of our leg, maybe the side of your foot. Maybe you can even turn your little toes down towards the mat to get even more stretch here. All about length here. Length, 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 length. Keeping a connection with both hip bones or both sides of your sacrum on the mat. Both the back of your hip isn't lifting, basically. Big breath in. And then watch out, here comes my leg across towards you. There we go. My last purchase before isolation was these lovely woolly, merino actually, pink socks. They've been a very, very popular thing to wear. So again, I'm nice and even in my hips. I'm lengthening both hips away and down as much as possible. So try and think about tucking, if you can, your tailbone up. A little bit of a tuck of the tailbone to help with that lengthening. And then bring this leg back again. We'll take it into a twist. So you could bring the knee into the chest and then draw it away. And I like to, just because I have got these little back issues, I like to support my back by putting a block underneath my knee. And you could look over your shoulder if that's nice for you in a full twist. Again, we're lengthening this hip down to lengthen and find space in here, not hitching it up, but the opposite, drawing it down, down, down. Nice job. Taking some lovely big breaths here, feeling these little tiny intercostal muscles and the ribs opening a little bit. Twisting is so nice for unraveling tension in our body. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, roll back. Great job. And we'll take this nearest foot underneath, hook it underneath your other foot's ankle bone. So, and then twist until you've got your knee on the ground. So one knee up, one knee down on the ground. And we're just going to thrust and try and keep this hip on the ground, but let this hip lift. And we're thinking again of stretching that knee away from us. Very similar to those, relax and do it again. Very similar to what we're doing in our clams, or we're doing, spoiler alert, in a few minutes. We're trying to lengthen through the front of this hip flexor. And to do that, we're imagining we can draw the skin of the knees, the skin of the hamstrings away from us. So just keep rocking, keeping this supporting hip on the mat. It doesn't move, it's just the opposite hip rocking. Just check your butt. So again, if you're someone with lower back issues, you might find your bottom grips in situations without even realising it. So just put your hand back there, loosen your bottom off. It doesn't need to be helping out here. One more time. Beautiful. Let's try that on the other side. So swap the hooking of the feet around. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Swivel your hips now. So we've got the knee nearest the camera up.
opposite hip and knee on the mat, and just gently lift one hip up so this flesh is floating up now and it's nice and soft, my glutes aren't on. Relax back down to the mat or as far as down as you can go, and then stretch again. This is a big hip flexor stretch and a quad stretch, so really nice for us to do this before we go on to our clams or some of the other side bending activities. And just keep moving here. You could stay for a little bit if you want to, or you could keep moving. Beautiful job. This is a new exercise for me from Tanya Huddart, so I'm really loving my online learning as well. It's a great opportunity for some professional development for me, and this has been a really interesting exercise for me. The first few times it felt very unusual, but now I'm enjoying the release. Okay, let's go on to stretching the opposite leg now. So whatever you did have, maybe you're happy putting your hand behind the back of the leg instead because you don't have a strap, but a towel is great as well. Anything just to lengthen those legs. If you did have a strap, it's over the heel of the foot. Again, draw the leg away from you a little bit so we can lengthen through our side waist. So really thinking of the side waist tucking underneath you a little bit so that the glute comes on and helps support the hip. Tucking the chin, relax through the shoulder blades. Relaxing what you don't need to use. You could even give your jaw a wee wriggle, teeth apart, tongue to the roof of the mouth. That's good for you. And then we're going to take this leg across the body. So transfer your straps into the opposite hand. Maybe bring your hand onto your hip, this hip of the leg that's moving, so that you can help keep your hips on the mat. Here's my lovely pink sock coming your way. Curling the toes perhaps to get even more stretch in the side of your leg there. Maybe your IT band, maybe the side of your calf, wherever you feel it. You can absolutely bring it up towards your face and back just to feel where you're feeling it a little bit more, to find that sweet spot. Beautiful. One more big breath in and bring your leg back and out and open to the side. So again, I just like to put my hand on my thigh to really help there so that there's not a lot of lift happening. And we'll finish off with a twist. So inhaling, exhale so we can engage our tummy muscles to help whip whatever little prop you've got off. And keep twisting until you've maybe got your bent knee on the mat or towards the mat. Really, it's about the shoulders. We want to get both shoulders on the mat more than the knee. So whatever prop you need to help there. And again, it's lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through this hip, lengthening this hip down towards your feet and away from you to get that lovely stretch in your lumbar spine. Enjoy a few more breaths here, breathing everything out, opening up those little spaces between the hips. Beautiful job. And then I'm going to swivel around so I'm facing the wall. And if you've got a wall space, then pop your feet against it. So both feet hip distance apart against it. And just using that as for some feedback and also as a wee prop for us to use. And I'll just move that so you don't lose me completely. Great job. Okay, so we're going to take our single leg circles, which are a challenge for our hip stability here. So both legs are pushing, both heels, both toes. Push through your big toes especially and try and spread your toes nice and wide. And then bring your knee closest to me up. Flex the foot. And we're going to bring the knee to the chest. bring our leg out into that little semicircle, like the windmill we just did for our arms, and up to the midline again. Your arms are just at your side, fingers reaching away from you. And if you did have a little towel, this is a great opportunity to tuck it underneath the chest, just to help those ribs to come down, that chin to come down. So let's take a big breath in as we bring the knee up towards our chest. Exhale around and back up. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Really pushing into the wall with your opposite foot. Let's change direction. So we'll take the leg away and across the body and back. Away, across the body and back. Inhale and exhale. One more. And give yourself a big tuck there. You could even take a piriformis stretch, scoop our hand in and hold on to the outside of the foot and give ourselves a little bit of a piriformis stretch, knee in line with shoulder. We're just moving the foot. And let's try that on the other side. So hip distance apart, arms nice and long, tuck the chin, exhale and inhale. Let's inhale, knee up, exhale, exhale, back. Inhale, exhale, exhale, and back. Just keep going. You could slow the movement down a little bit. If you're feeling clicking or pain, make your circles much smaller. And we can change direction. Across the body and out. Across the body and out. And again, as much range as feels good in your body. So across as much and external rotation out as much as feels good in your body. And again, we'll take a big tuck. And we can turn this into a piriformis stretch. So scoop your hand underneath, hold onto the outside of the foot by the heel or maybe your calf and extend that leg up. And just again, finding your sweet spot. I just move my foot until I find a little bit that feels a bit sticky or sore, a little bit of a nice place to pause for a few breaths and just breathe into that tight spot. Okay, we'll do a second set and you could stay with your bent legs, particularly if you don't have the capacity yet to have an extended leg with your heel in line with your hip. So if that's not going to work for you, then please bend your leg and think about moving this femur in the hip socket like we've just done. Otherwise, you could bring your hands to your sides. If you want to make this harder, you could take your support of your arms away by bringing your arms out or up above you. And we're going to bring our leg up and out into the semicircle. Maybe flex it back, point away, and flex back. If you've got a bent leg, don't worry about pointing and flexing, just keep your leg flexed. One more, and back. Let's go the other direction. So across the body, up and around, and like I said, whatever amount suits you. Trying to keep the hips nice and still here. So it's not about how big your movement is, it's about how still those legs are. One more. And bring that knee in. Hopefully because of that lovely hip flexor stretch, we haven't got any clicking hips here. Extend your leg again or bend at the opposite leg this time. Point the toe if you've got long legs, out and around, flexing back, pointing and flexing. And I like to inhale away, exhale back, but it's really what feels good for you. Just keep breathing. Let's change direction. So we're going to go across, up and around, across the body, up and around. You probably find your hips like to move one way more than another. Maybe a little gentle squeeze of the glutes if you feel like you need a little bit more lift to get your leg across. One more. Beautiful. Beautiful. We can tuck both knees into the chest and we're going to roll like a little ball here. So just have a little break, a little roll, a couple of times. Beautiful. And then feet back on the ground again for some glute bridges. So toes on the wall, knees and feet are hip distance apart. We're going to just gently roll up. Think of those knees sliding towards the wall and roll back down. Sliding up and sliding down. Again, just a couple more. Thinking of those knees lifting and reaching away towards the wall to help you lift up. And you might stay with doing double leg lifts like that, double leg pelvic lifts, squeezing the glutes to roll up, squeezing the glutes to roll down. Or you might move away from the wall a little bit because we're going to end up alternating legs, so just check you've got some room here. And arms to our sides, tuck the chin, widen through the collarbones, squeeze the glutes, gently gliding up, and choosing your leg closest to me to lift up. So the opposite leg's your stabilising leg. Just gently extend the leg so we're stacking knee to knee and glide it back down. So you might want to have a little bit of a fiddle. Maybe you'll want to bring your stabilising leg heel closer to your bottom. You really want to push through the heel. Maybe you'll want to bring your hands into palms and push them into the sides of your hips to help give yourself a little bit more stabilising, and also to check that you're not accidentally moving your hips. Beautiful. You probably can really tell that although you're moving the leg nearest to me, it's the opposite side that's working. Your opposite oblique, sidewaist, and your opposite glute. Let's try that on the other side. Feel free to come up and down just once or twice in between. Loosen off your back, or just a couple of little pelvic tilts. And let's close the ribs down again. Find a nice neutral space. Push through the heel of the foot nearest to me, especially to help yourself find that stabilising. Glutes are on, and just extending the leg, tapping down. So really just moving at the knee as much as possible. So you could absolutely push your hands in to give yourself a little bit of stability. Arms at your sides. Beautiful. And again, just noticing how it's the opposite side to the leg that's moving, which is doing all the work. That's why it's so important when we walk that we don't have a handbag stopping us from using our arms, or we're carrying bags. We're stopping ourselves from being able to use our full cross system when we do that. Okay, and if you wanted to, we can go into alternating legs. So if you are keeping with bent legs and doubles, this is where you could be taking heel taps or toe taps. So you're still alternating, but less, your levers are much more limited. So that would be option 1, heels lifting, doing that for a few reps, then toes lifting for a few reps. But if you are happy to keep going, we'll go into alternating legs. And if you'd like to, you could add your alternating arms as well. So just settling again into a nice neutral space, maybe a couple of pelvic tilts, closing the ribs, roll the shoulders down the back, tuck the chin. And then when you're ready, gently rolling up to your position. And we just can fit a fist underneath our bottom. It's not very high at all. And you can begin to alternate if that's what you'd like to do. Again, hands on the sides of your hips perhaps. And this might be where you stay. You might stay working on your legs. Otherwise, for the last few reps, you might like to lift your arms up and then take your alternating arms, alternating legs. Trying to be as still as possible in our torso, relaxed as possible in our breathing. Nice and calm. Quite nice to flex the foot. It just really encourages that back body to come on, and that's what we want to be using here. One more on each side so we're nice and even, and then onto your tippy toes, wherever you are, arms up wherever you are, and let's take everything down, down, down and away from us. Enjoy a lovely big stretch here. Beautiful. Once your legs are stretched, feel free to take a nice oblique stretch so we can take our legs towards me, your arms towards me, and we look a bit like a banana or a crescent lying on the mat, having a big stretch here. Sometimes it's nice to cross a leg over if you can keep both hips on the mat. And again, coming back to your beautiful breathing, nice and calm. And we'll take that the other way. So just walking your legs away from me, arms away from me, and if you'd like to, you can look away as well. Cross your leg if that's nice, holding onto your elbows if that's nice. And we're just here for about 30 seconds, so 3 more big breaths. Last breath. Beautiful. And then we can come up again, maybe another little roll, tuck the chin, rolling up, and we'll come into the side. So we're going to be lying against the wall this time. So bottom against the wall and head against the wall. And that way we can really play with that idea of seeing what's happening in our hips and if they're moving at all. So just come down to your side, absolutely put your block, a rolled up towel underneath your bicep if you want even more relaxation in your neck area. Bring your knees up, flex the feet, and we'll just take a couple of those little clams we did on Friday, just watching that our hip isn't rocking back and touching the wall. So we're just gently bringing our top leg up and closing it back down, like we're opening a book. The nice thing about the wall is you've got somewhere to tuck your chin and feel the back of the head against the wall. Beautiful. Then we'll take our clams, so heels together and open the leg, stretch the leg away from us. And can you close your ribs even more? Can you find the back of the ribs against that wall? Beautiful. And then we'll go heel to heel and back of the heel touching the back of the heel. Again, tuck the chin, close the ribs, and just watching that your hips are nice and still. And let's bring our heels up, open the legs, lengthen, 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 and close the legs. Again, tuck the chin, close the ribs against the back of the wall, and just check your hips are not rocking and rolling. One more up. Let's extend the leg out and close it all back in. Lengthening out, closing back in. You can put our fingers on our hip bones to check there's no movement. Closing the ribs, tuck the chin. Last one. Nice job.
hard, are we, Tomahi? Beautiful work. Let's swap ourselves around the other way for our cleanse. So again, back of the head and ribs are against the wall. Knees up. And we want this bottom leg overhanging, the top leg overhanging the bottom leg ever so slightly. So we won't have our back against the wall, just, our lower back. We'll just have our hip points. Nice job. So just find your position here that suits you. Relax through that neck as much as you can. Flex the feet. And we'll just start by opening the top leg, closing the top leg. Opening that knee, just like a book. One more up, one more down, and now flex the feet, push the heels together, opening into a clam and closing. And again, just using that wall for some feedback, particularly for those ribs, those hips, and the back of the head. We've got our wee space underneath our sideways still. Let's take our knees together and then open up and heels together. Knees together, opening up and heels together. Keeping the back of the head, the tuck, closing the ribs, your wee space underneath the side. Great, gliding both heels up, opening into clams again. Slowing it down, lengthening if you can. Just doing 4 to 6 of these. We're going for quality movement. And extending, lengthening, just where we began, lengthening in the front of the hip flexor, closing back down, lengthening and closing back down, lengthening, closing back down. Last one. Beautiful work, everybody. Pretty tough against the wall. It's great having that feedback, isn't it? Hope you're enjoying that. Okay, so we've done some really lovely work opening up and strengthening our glutes and our glute med. So we'll put that to the test now with our 4-point positions. So coming into your hands and knees, and again, we'll use the wall to put our bottom probably about 1 centimetre away from. So we're going to try and not let ourselves, I'll just show you what we're not going to do, and which is when we lift a leg away, find ourselves rocking and back. Particularly when we bring the leg back, it's when I see it in class, I see this kind of thing happening as we bring one leg away, the opposite leg rocks. So that's what we're really trying to not do. And because of all the oblique work we've been doing over the past 6 sessions, number 7 today, hopefully you've got a little bit of a change in there, more body awareness, some more strength in your side waists, and the ability to be a little bit more stable. So let's come into our hands and knees. And we'll just take some cats and cows to begin with. It's nice to open up here. So exhaling, gaze towards your belly. Inhaling back to neutral and exhale the other way. Just tuck the chin so we don't overextend the neck. Okay, and then we can also have a little think about just that puffing up between the shoulder blades, those serratus muscles. So just puffing up between the shoulder blades, relaxing between the shoulder blades, puffing up and relaxing. Just drawing the eyes of the elbows, the triceps forward. really pushing into the forefingers and thumbs. Okay, so now we're in a lovely long straight position. Let's just take a few breaths here and feel our belly lower and lift. So we can use that resistance of gravity again to really make the most of our tummy muscles here. Drawing the belly up as we exhale, letting it relax as we inhale. Drawing it up as we exhale and relax again. One more time. We're going to use that tummy to help us with our movement, just like we often do. So when you're ready, inhale, glide one arm away, keep it on the mat, exhale to bring it back, drag it back. Inhale away, exhale, drag it back. And notice how the side that isn't moving, so the side nearest the wall, if you're like me, is really the side that's working here. It's holding you still. You can feel that front side waist really working. One more away, one more back. Let's try that on the other side. So draw the arms towards each other, puff between the shoulder blades, opposite hand away, draw it back. Opposite hand, draw it back. There's no rush here. Take your time. Use your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Is there a difference on sides? Does the side feel stronger than the other side? Is it easier to breathe? Or was the other side noticeably easier, more stable? Beautiful. Let's try that with our legs. So draw your leg away, the one that's away from the wall, away, draw it back, away, draw it back. Any difference here? Are you banging into the wall? If you are touching the wall, what can you do to stop that? Squeeze the glute of the bent leg. Pull and engage up the belly, the pelvic floors. Great. And if you'd like to, we can try opposite arm, opposite leg. So we're challenging the side that's against the wall. So that's the side that stays still, moving the leg away. And if you want to, opposite arm, draw everything back in. If you'd like to stay contact with the mat, you can. If you'd like to lift up away from the mat, you can as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's slow it down. We'll hold at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 2 more like that. Hold at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Last one. Hold at the top. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Give ourselves a little bit of wrist love, and maybe the backs of the hands could roll forwards and backwards. Or maybe you could turn your wrists forward and roll forwards and backwards again. And if you've got another way that you love to look after your wrists, absolutely take that. These are just 2 ideas. Okay, so we'll do all that again on the other side, and set yourself up, turn yourself around. I'll turn this camera. And set yourself up on your hands and knees again, with the other side facing the wall. Great job. So again, this time with your arms, we'll puff between the shoulder blades. We can draw our hands up to begin with. So inhale away, exhale back. Just on that one side again, challenging our obliques. You might be able to tell and feel that your opposite side is working. Let's hold for 3, 2, 1, relax, one more time, lift up, hold, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back. Let's try that on the other side. So glide away, lift up if you want to, or keep contact with the mat. Again, these are just options. Think of these arms as pillars that are rooting from the ground and lifting the weight up off the wrists, up into the body. Keep pushing, pushing, pushing the fingertips, the thumbs into the mat. We'll just take 2 with a wee pause, so hold up for 3, 2, 1, relax down, and hold up 3, 2, 1, relax down. Great, we'll move on to challenging the side that's closest to the wall. So we really want to keep the glute on as much as possible. Try to have no movement. If you do notice the movement, that's your feedback, and do what you can to minimize the movement. So let's glide our leg away, draw it back in, and like on the other side, at any stage, if you'd like to lift the leg up, you can. I encourage you to flex the foot just to really get that glute max on. And you could absolutely extend opposite arm as well. We'll do about 4 of these, and then we'll add a hold, a little isometric hold. Really good for building strength. One more dynamic. And this time hold. So lift and hold, flex the foot if it's not. 3, 2, 1. We'll do one more like that. So good for us to have holds, to take holds. It really also gives you an opportunity to notice what your body does and how it organises itself. Beautiful. And again, maybe a little bit of wrist love, backs of the hands, or rocking. So you have a little bit of wrist love while I move the camera again. Great. And then we'll just take some thread the needle. It's a really nice way to just open up through our shoulders again. So back onto our 4-point position and lift up whatever arm suits you. Exhale and scoop it underneath you. We're going to put our ear on the mat, our shoulder on the mat, and end up in a nice twist. Bring your hand up above your ear. Maybe it can end up by your ear or by your cheek. Bring some integrity into your pelvis. So bring your tailbone towards your shoulders, a little bit of engagement in that lower belly. And if this is a tricky place for you to be, you could absolutely put a block underneath your ear so that you're not putting too much weight onto your cheek. We want more weight on our shoulder. And maybe you could bring this extended arm up and over and rest it on your lower back. Or maybe you could tuck it into the hip crease and use that to open up your shoulder a little bit more. Give your hips a wee wiggle and a waggle from side to side, forwards and backwards. And then settle them. And let's bring our arm back. A couple of cats and cows here. Inhaling and exhaling. And you could absolutely take your cats and cows from side to side. And another little exercise that Tanya's taught me is to hook one leg over like we've just done. Just adds a little different dynamic to our twists. And then hook your leg the other way. Hook one ankle over the other and pull them apart. Just feel a little bit more of an oblique stretch there. Okay, and back to our thread the needle. So bring our opposite arm up this time. Sorry, I've done the same arm. Aroha mai. And bring yourself down. Opposite arm up by your ear. Tuck the tailbone. Bring some integrity into that pelvis. Support your lower back by drawing your belly button up to your spine. Feel free to wriggle your hips from side to side, forwards and backwards.
And then maybe bring this opposite arm onto your lower back. Maybe you can open up the front of the pec a little bit and find a wee way to hook into your crease of the hips there. 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Beautiful. Beautiful work. And you could take a child's pose here, or maybe puppy dog, just to open up a little bit more. Keep our legs at a 90-degree angle and stretch yourself forward. And maybe your chin on the mat, maybe your forehead on the mat. Just a lovely big stretch underneath those shoulders. Again, a little bit of integrity in the lower belly. Draw your belly button up to your spine, pull up your pelvic floors. We're not collapsing at the lumbar spine. And then draw the hands back, coming back up. Beautiful work. So we'll just finish with the challenges that we took last Friday with our side kicks, mermaids, and our side plank. So we'll start on our hands and knees, on your knees in a kneeling position. Great job. And tuck the tailbone, tuck the ribs, tuck the chin, so we've got that beautiful alignment. Bring one leg out to the side, heel down, arms up, and we're lengthening across away from that leg. Take your hand behind the back of the head, fingers tips to the mat, and then gliding opposite leg up. Find me a little bit more. Length. Hand behind the back of the head and lifting up. And again, imagine we're at the back of, we've got a wall behind us. We've done that quite a bit today. Can we tuck the chin a bit more? Can we close the ribs a little bit more? And then maybe we can slide our heel up and down an imaginary wall. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Maybe you can take your leg forward and back against that imaginary wall again. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Arm up, slide yourself back, knees together, open the opposite leg, lengthen down, hand on the mat, opposite hand behind the back of the head, tuck the chin, close the ribs. You might stay here, maybe you can lengthen that leg up, and again, imagine you've got a wall behind us. Can we slide our heel up the wall, slide it down? 3, 2, 1. Can we point it forward and flex it back? 3, 2, 1. Glide back down. Karawi tōmahi onto your knees. We'll take our mermaids now. So we can have our knees in one direction, feet in the other. Have a wee wriggle and a jiggle. And remember, if you're like me and one hip, one side waist is obviously a little bit shorter than the other, and I'm still lengthening and strengthening it, and what a surprise, it's my side where the pain is. So I just pop a little towel underneath there so I can feel that connection, and I can get that beautiful feeling of opposition as I lift up and over. Bring our arms out, opposite hand to the mat, lifting up and over away from our feet, and then lengthening back, hugging our shin and lifting up and over. Beautiful. And the opposite way again. There's no wrong or right here. You could do this exercise with straight legs in front of you, crossed legs on a chair. And if you can, bring that same consciousness to your arms
that we had at the beginning of the class. What happens if your arms are straight? Do you get even more length in your side waist? And what happens if you turn your palms up towards the ceiling? I know it's tricky because my palms are disappearing out of view, but if we turn our palms up towards the ceiling, you might find you get a little bit of a difference in your shoulders and therefore in your hips as well. So you might stay with your another set of these mermaids, or you might like to take a side plank. If you've got socks on, like I have, because the sun hasn't quite hit my little studio yet, then I suggest you safely take them off so you've got a little bit of grip. And if you are going to come with me for a side plank, and I hope you will, slide those legs away from you so that we've got our heels stacked. Opposite hand underneath our shoulder, opposite arm up, glide up, then bring your hand onto your flank so you can push your hip into your hand. And we're holding here. Beautiful work. It's already been 5 seconds. Keep holding. If you're mermaiding, keep mermaiding. Let's tuck our chin again, close our ribs, lengthen our hip up again towards our hand, flex our feet and lift our knees. We've got just 10 seconds to go. We're going to do 30 seconds here. You're meant to be able to side plank for half the length you can do a normal plank for, and I know that my ladies can plank for a minute. 3, 2, 1, and karawi. Beautiful job. Let's bring our legs around. That was so great. Well done, you. Okay, and let's come back to our mermaids again. Maybe there's a difference in your side plank. I hope so. Maybe there's a difference in the stability of your lower back and hips. You can let me know in your comments. And again, you might stick with these, or you might come with me and take your side plank on the other side. Just sliding these legs away from us, stacking our heels, and knowing you also could have Egyptian legs where your both feet are side by side on the mat as well. That's another really good way to have another variation you could take. Otherwise, top arm up, push ourselves up. I've disappeared from camera, but you know what you're doing. Top arm up and then top arm up onto our side, push into our hand. And again, 30 seconds here. Flex the feet, lift the knees, close the ribs, tuck the chin, and push the hip up into the hand again. Keep breathing. Flex the feet, lift the knees, close the ribs, push the hand up into the hand. You've just got 5 and 4, 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. Coming back down again. Fantastic work. I'm really proud of you. Let's finish with our figure of 4 at the wall. So popping our feet up against the wall at a 90-degree angle. Beautiful. And this could be a place to stay, like this. But if you'd like to open up those glute meds one more time, you could absolutely bring the shin of one leg across the mid-thigh of the other leg. Flex the foot, keep the arch having some integrity, maybe arms up over the head for a lovely big stretch here. And again, we're lengthening this knee out and away from us. So you don't need to be pushing or pulling it. And we're here for a good long minute. So take the time to get comfortable here. Arms and cactus can be nice as well. A little towel underneath the back of the head if that's good for you as well. Otherwise, just shut your eyes, come back to your beautiful belly breathing, and I will let you know when it's time to swap our legs over.
time to swap your legs over. So flex the foot, shin over mid-thigh. Keep flexing that foot so we keep the arch of the foot. And rather than pushing this leg away from us, think of actively reaching the knee down and away towards the wall. So this is an active stretch. Our legs are very busy. They are keeping on flexing, keeping on pushing this knee away. But above our hips, we're completely relaxed. So again, whatever's nice for your arms, this is an opportunity to really lengthen out on the side of these side waists, to come back to your belly breathing. And again, we're here for a minute. So just shut your eyes, commit to staying in your body, staying with your practice just for another few breaths. And then when you're ready, knees into your chest, rolling to one side, just cradling your head and your bicep for a few seconds. And then just like we do when we get out of bed in the mornings, using our strong arms and legs to help us get up to a nice comfortable seated position. We can take our hands to heart center. Tihei Modi Ora. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone, and I hope you'll come and see me here on Friday at 9 a.m. for some more oblique work, and I'll let you know about if I can capture James again and take a yoga class during the week, because I was sorry to miss that yesterday. So do please give me some thumbs up and some love, some comments. That's how these online classes work, and feel free to share them with your friends as well. Have a great week, and fingers crossed that we are moving forward this afternoon with some progress. Otherwise, regardless, I will see you Friday, because I won't be teaching no matter what for a wee while, anywhere but online. Okay, mā te wā, ka kite anō.